She texted, "Do you love that stupid dog more than me?" About my service animal. I replied, "Yes." When she put him in the shelter while I was at work and I pressed charges for theft, the answer became evidence. I, 28 male, came home from work last Tuesday to find my apartment eerily quiet. No clicking of nails on the floor, no warm greeting at the door. My service dog Ranger, a 4-year-old German Shepherd, was gone. For context, I'm a veteran with PTSD from 2 tours overseas. Ranger isn't just a pet. He's a trained service animal who helps with panic attacks, nightmares, and hypervigilance. He's literally saved my life more times than I can count. Got him through a program that pairs vets with service dogs. Spent months training together. He's registered, certified, the whole 9 yards. My girlfriend Haley, 26, was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone like nothing was wrong. "Where's Ranger?" I asked, already feeling my chest tighten. She didn't even look up. "At the shelter." My heart stopped. "What?" "I took him to the county shelter. I'm tired of competing with a dog for your attention." I couldn't breathe. Started checking all his usual spots, under my desk, in the bedroom, by his food bowl. His collar was sitting on the kitchen counter. The collar with his service dog tags, his registration, my contact info. "You took off his collar?" My voice was shaking. "They wouldn't take him with all that hardware on. Said it was policy." I grabbed my keys. "Which shelter?" "The one on Riverside. But they're closed now. Opens at 10 a.m. tomorrow." It was 6:30 p.m. The shelter closed at 5. She knew I didn't get off work until 6. "Haley, he's not just a dog. He's medical equipment. He's prescribed by my psychiatrist. This is..." "Oh my God, stop being so dramatic. It's just one night. You can get him tomorrow." I called the shelter's emergency line. No answer. Called the police non-emergency number, explained the situation. They said since the shelter was closed and no crime was in progress, I'd have to wait until morning. Didn't sleep at all. Kept reaching for Ranger when the nightmares hit. He always knew, always woke me up before they got bad. Without him, I was on my own. At 5 a.m., I gave up trying to sleep. Saw Haley's phone light up with a text. From her sister. "Did you really do it? What did he say?" I grabbed her phone. She'd been texting about it all day. "Haley finally took that stupid dog to the pound." "OMG, really?" "Yep, so tired of him loving that thing more than me." "What if he freaks out?" "He'll get over it. Maybe now he'll pay attention to me for once." Scrolled up further. "Yesterday afternoon. Friend, just saw your Snap story. Is that Jake's dog at the shelter?" "Yes. Had to lie and say I found him as a stray, lol." "Girl, you're crazy. He's obsessed with that dog. It's weird, like, hello, I'm your GF, not the dog." I screenshot everything, then found the nail in the coffin, a text exchange from Sunday. "I swear I'm gonna get rid of that dog. Haley, don't do anything stupid. Watch me. He literally loves it more than me." "Did you ask him?" "Yeah, I straight up asked, do you love that stupid dog more than me?" "What did he say?" "He said yes. Can you believe that? Yes." "Well, honey, it's his service animal. I don't care. It's me or the dog, and I'm making the choice for him." I forwarded all the screenshots to myself. At 9:45 a.m., I was waiting outside the shelter when they opened. Haley was still asleep at home. "I'm here for my dog, German Shepherd, brought in yesterday. His name is Ranger." The desk clerk typed into her computer. "I show a German Shepherd brought in as a stray yesterday afternoon. No collar, no chip scan recorded." "He's chipped, and he had a collar. He's my service dog." I showed her photos, his registration papers, prescription from the VA. Her face changed. "Sir, if someone surrendered your service animal and claimed he was a stray, that's a serious issue. Let me get my supervisor." 20 minutes of paperwork and verification later, they brought out Ranger. He was shaking, stressed, but unharmed. Nearly knocked me over trying to climb into my lap. The supervisor was furious. Whoever did this could face charges. Surrendering someone else's animal, especially a service animal, and lying about it being a stray, that's theft and fraud. "I know who did it, my girlfriend. I have text evidence. Would you like us to contact the police? We take this very seriously. Service animals are protected under federal law." I said yes. Drove home with Ranger pressed against my leg. Haley was awake, making coffee like nothing happened. "Oh, you got your dog, see? Told you it would be fine. Pack your stuff and get out." She laughed. "You're kicking me out over a dog?" "Yes. You have 1 hour. This is ridiculous. I'm your girlfriend. We've been together for 8 months, and you're choosing a dog over me? I already chose. I told you yes when you asked. You just didn't believe me. She started screaming about how I was insane, how no normal person would choose an animal over a human, how her friends were right that I was a psycho. I called my buddy Derek, who's also a vet. Can you come over? Haley needs to leave, and I don't want to be alone with her while she packs. He was there in 15 minutes. Haley was throwing stuff in bags, alternating between crying and yelling. You're seriously having your friend supervise me like I'm some criminal? You stole my medical equipment and committed fraud, so yeah, you're a criminal. She stopped packing. Medical equipment? It's a dog. A service dog, prescribed by my doctor. Trained for 2 years, worth about $20K, and you stole him. She paled a bit at that, but kept packing. As she was leaving, she turned and said, You'll regret this. No other woman is going to put up with you being obsessed with that dog. Good, then I'll know they're not the right person. Update 1. It's been 3 days since I kicked Haley out. The police came by yesterday to take my statement. I showed them all the screenshots, Ranger's paperwork, everything. Officer Martinez was particularly interested in the texts where she admitted to lying to the shelter. This shows clear intent and premeditation. She knew what she was doing was wrong. What kind of charges are we talking about? Theft of property over $5K is a felony in this state. The dog is valued at? The program values him at $20K based on training costs, but honestly he's priceless to me. There's also filing a false report to the shelter, fraud, and since he's a service animal, she could face federal charges for interference with a disabled person's rights. While we were talking, my phone was blowing up. Haley, her friends, her family. I didn't answer, but I read the texts. Haley, the police just called me. Are you serious? This is insane. Pressing charges over a dog. I'll bring him back. This is crazy. Please answer me. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't think you'd react like this. Jake, please. My job called asking about criminal charges? WTF. Her mom, Jake, Haley made a mistake, but getting the police involved is too much. Please reconsider. Her sister, you're really going to ruin her life over this? She was just jealous. Girls get jealous. It's normal. Her friend, wow, Jake. Way to overreact. She already apologized. What more do you want? I didn't respond to any of them. But then Haley showed up at my apartment that evening. Derek was still staying with me because my PTSD was bad after the whole ordeal. He answered the door. I need to talk to Jake. He doesn't want to see you. This is between me and my boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend, Derek corrected. And you're trespassing. Jake, she yelled past him. I know you can hear me. Call off the police. This is crazy. It was just a joke. I was going to tell you where he was. I stayed in my room with Ranger. Derek handled it. You need to leave or I'm calling the cops. For what? Standing in a hallway? Harassment. Trespassing. Violation of an emergency protective order. What protective order? The one that was issued when you were charged with stealing a service animal. Did you not read the paperwork? I heard her storm off. Derek came back. She genuinely seemed surprised about the protective order. Not my problem. An hour later, she was texting from different numbers. I can't come within 100 feet of you? Are you kidding me? This is destroying my life. My job is asking questions. I'll pay for the dog if that's what this is about. Please, I'm begging you. I didn't know it was such a big deal. That last one pissed me off. I had one of my buddies whose number she didn't have text her. Leave Jake alone. You knew exactly what you were doing. You have the right to remain silent. Use it. The next morning, I got a call from the prosecutor's office. They were taking the case seriously. The ADA, a woman named Taurus, was particularly interested. Service animal theft is becoming a real problem. People don't understand these animals are medical equipment. I'd like to make an example of this case if you're willing. I just want to make sure nothing like this happens again. Oh, it won't. Not to you and hopefully not to anyone else after we're done. Update 2. Been 2 weeks now. Haley was formally charged with theft of property over $5K felony, filing a false report, fraud, and interference with a service animal. Her lawyer reached out trying to plea it down, but the ADA wasn't having it. Your client stole a disabled veteran's service animal and fraudulently surrendered it to a shelter. She's lucky we're not pursuing federal charges. Haley's response to not getting her way? Double down on the crazy. First, she started a smear campaign. Not on social media, her lawyer probably told her not to, but through word of mouth. Told everyone I was abusive and controlling, and that she rescued a dog I was neglecting. My buddy's wife heard her at a coffee shop. He kept that dog locked up all day while he was at work. Never walked him. I felt so bad for the poor thing, I had to do something. Complete lies. Ranger goes to work with me. I manage a veteran-owned auto shop and he's the unofficial mascot. Has his own bed in my office and everything. Then came the workplace harassment. She couldn't contact me directly because of the protective order. But she found loopholes. Started calling my work asking for Jake's supervisor to report concerns about an employee. My boss shut that down quick and told her to stop calling or he'd report her for harassment. So she escalated. Showed up at the shop during lunch rush with a sob story. Is Jake here? I just need to give him his stuff back. Carrying a box of things that were never mine. My coworker Luis handled it. He's not available. You can leave the box. I really need to see him. It's important. Ma'am, there's a protective order. You need to leave. She started crying. Loud, dramatic sobs. He's trying to ruin my life. Over a dog. I have a criminal record now. I can't get housing. My job is threatening to fire me, all because I made one mistake. Customers were staring. Luis called the cops. She left before they arrived, but the damage was done. We had upset customers, and she'd successfully made a scene. That evening, her mother tried a different approach. Showed up at my apartment with a check. Jake, this is a check for $20,000. The cost of the dog. Take it and drop the charges. It doesn't work like that. The state is pressing charges, not me. But if you refuse to cooperate, ma'am, your daughter stole my service animal. That's like stealing someone's wheelchair or oxygen tank. The money isn't the point. She's going to lose everything. Her job, her apartment, her future. Is that what you want? I wanted to come home to my service dog. She made her choices. She left the check. I photographed it and gave it to my lawyer as evidence of attempted witness tampering. The pre-trial hearing was last Thursday. Haley showed up in a conservative suit, hair in a bun, trying to look innocent. Her lawyer argued for dismissal. This is a simple domestic dispute that's been blown out of proportion. Miss Coleman was feeling neglected in the relationship and made an impulsive decision. The ADA pulled up the screenshots. Impulsive? She texted about planning this days in advance. She removed his collar to hide his identity. She lied to shelter staff. This was premeditated. Then they played security footage from the shelter. Clear as day, Haley walking in with Ranger, who was obviously distressed, telling the desk clerk she found him running loose and tried to find his owner but no collar. The way Ranger kept trying to leave, looking back at the door, broke my heart all over again. The judge denied the motion to dismiss. Trial set for next month. As we left court, Haley's mom approached again. This time with Haley's dad. Jake, be reasonable. She's facing prison time. Actual prison. Is that proportionate to what she did? Her dad tried the man-to-man approach. Son, I know she screwed up, but this is destroying her life. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive? I have forgiven her, but forgiveness doesn't mean avoiding consequences. She committed multiple felonies. She's our baby girl. Her mom was crying now. She's never been in trouble before. This will ruin her life. Your baby girl stole medical equipment from a disabled veteran. Maybe you should have taught her that actions have consequences. That weekend, I started getting calls from random numbers. Different people, all with the same message. You're ruining a young woman's life over a pet. One guy even said, dude, it's just a dog, get another one. It's not just a dog. He's trained to detect PTSD episodes, interrupt nightmares, and provide stability during panic attacks. Can't just pick that up at the pet store. Still seems extreme to send someone to prison over it. I hung up. These flying monkeys were getting old. Final update. The trial was this week. Haley's lawyer went with the young woman in love who made a mistake defense, painted her as someone who just wanted attention from her boyfriend and made a misguided choice. The prosecution destroyed that narrative. First, they established Ranger's importance. My psychiatrist testified about prescribing a service animal for severe PTSD. The trainer from the program explained the 2 years of specialized training, the bond between handler and dog, the devastating impact of separation. Then came the evidence of premeditation. Text after text showing Haley planning this, discussing it with friends, acknowledging she knew it was wrong. The "do you love that dog more than me" exchange was particularly damning. Haley took the stand. Tried to cry, but it felt rehearsed. "I just felt so alone. He spent all his time with that dog. I know it was wrong, but I was desperate for his attention." On cross-examination, she fell apart. "Miss Coleman, did the defendant tell you Ranger was his service animal?" "Yes, but..." "Did he explain that Ranger helped with his PTSD?" "I guess, but..." "You guess? Isn't it true he told you about Ranger's training and purpose when you first started dating?" "Maybe." "I'd like to present Defense Exhibit C, a text from Miss Coleman to her friend saying, quote, 'Jake explained his whole PTSD dog thing. It's actually pretty cool.' Do you remember sending that?" Yes. "So you knew exactly what Ranger meant to him?" "I didn't think." "You didn't think, or you didn't care?" Her lawyer objected, but the damage was done. The shelter employee testified about Haley claiming Ranger was a stray, removing his collar, lying on the intake forms. The security footage was played again. You could see Ranger's distress, constantly looking back, refusing to go into the kennel area willingly. My testimony was short, just the facts. Coming home, finding Ranger gone, the impact of that night without him. I kept it clinical, didn't get emotional, didn't need to. The facts spoke for themselves. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing was yesterday. The judge didn't hold back. "Ms. Coleman, you've shown a disturbing lack of empathy and understanding. You stole a service animal from a disabled veteran, not out of necessity or confusion, but out of petty jealousy. Your premeditation, your lies to the shelter, your continued harassment of the victim, even after charges were filed. All of this shows a pattern of entitlement and disregard for others. I sentence you to 18 months in prison, followed by 3 years probation. You are ordered to pay restitution of $20,000 for the value of the service animal, plus $5,000 for the victim's therapy and legal costs. You are permanently barred from owning or working with animals. Upon release, you will complete 200 hours of community service with a veterans organization." Haley sobbed. Her parents looked devastated. But here's the thing, she could have gotten up to 5 years. The judge was actually lenient. As I left the courthouse, her mom approached one last time. "I hope you're happy. You've destroyed her life." "No, ma'am, she destroyed her own life when she chose to steal a service animal. I just refused to let her get away with it. It's been a week since sentencing. Ranger and I are doing better. The nightmares have calmed down, and having justice served helped more than I expected. My therapist says standing up for myself and Ranger was a huge step in my recovery. Got a text from an unknown number yesterday. This is Haley's friend. Just wanted you to know she's already in prison. Hope you can live with yourself." I can. Quite well, actually. Ranger's curled up next to me as I write this, safe and home where he belongs. To anyone else with a service animal, document everything, know your rights, and don't let anyone minimize what these animals mean to us. They're not pets, they're lifelines. And to anyone who thinks jealousy justifies committing felonies, it doesn't. It really, really doesn't.